Hello, it's me, Robin, with Simple Food, Simple Life. I'm just making food today, and I thought I would show you what I'm doing. I am just preparing some odds and ends. It's the weekend, and I just want to use up some things that I have, so I thought I would share it with you. All right. I have a half a head of very small cabbage, and I've got a package of pepper stir fry. This is $1 from Dollar Tree. So I just took some out. They're still frozen. I took some out and coarsely chopped them. And in this is a blend of red, green, and yellow peppers and onion. So I'm going to put that in my big bowl. Go big or go home. Oh wait, I'm already home. And now I'm just going to chop up this cabbage. What I'm doing, I'm just making a simple slaw. That's all I'm doing. I'm going to use a vinegar dressing because I think that it just seems to me to be, you know, simple. So that's what I'm doing. I think I'm going to cut this in half this way. I think I'm going to chop it the other way. I was watching a little bit of YouTube while I'm doing this, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to share some of this preparation with you. It's not really meal prep, although there is some of it I'm actually going to eat for an entire meal. I'm going to use this whole cabbage for my slaw. Put it in my bowl, loosen it up a little bit. This is just coarsely chopped. And I'm not concerned about my frozen peppers because once they're in the vinegar, they'll be fine. They won't be mushy or anything. You can see how coarsely this is chopped. There it is. All done. How is everybody getting on? It's been raining here for days. Off and on for days, and yesterday it was all day and all night. Marianne. Oh, that looks scrumptious. I think I should eat it. Good. All right. I could put some carrots in there, I guess, but I'm not going to. I have some here. I'm going to cut up some sweet potatoes, the carrots, and I'm going to roast them after a while for my supper. But in the meantime, I'm going to make a quick dressing. Okay, now all I have done is put a half a cup of vinegar, just white vinegar, half a cup of water, and about 3 tablespoons of sugar. I like mine a little sweeter, but you can have whatever you like. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this to a boil. And I'm going to pour it over my slaw. Doesn't that sound good? Yum, yum, yum. Okay. I am going to put a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, on top of my slaw ingredients. Now, I want to show you, I have a couple of sweet potatoes. I'm going to scrub them and cut them up. I'm going to leave the skins on. And I'm going to roast them along with the carrots that I showed you. I'm just going to clean a few carrots, chunk them up rather large, and put them on a baking sheet. I'm also going to drain these Great Northern beans, and I'm going to do something with them. I think I'm just going to put some seasoning in them and just heat them up and enjoy them. I think I will do that because that sounds delicious. And eat them in a bowl with my sweet potatoes and carrots. And in here I have some dehydrated vegetables that I did last summer. Here's some squash and some green tomatoes. They don't look lovely, but they're going to taste lovely. Once they're rehydrated, which they're almost there, I will saute them, I think, and put some salt, pepper, I don't know, maybe a little garlic. So that's what I'm up to. The dressing is almost to a boil. Doesn't take very long for these things. Very, very simple. Oh, and I have to show you this. I had tried an experiment last summer, and I I canned and preserved some of my green tomatoes, and I had seen on the University of YouTube where you can do this, and it's really nice. It really works. They're very, very good, so I'm going to make some fried green tomatoes at some point, but while I was digging around in the pantry, I thought I should bring up a jar. I don't know if I'll have these today or not, maybe, which we shall see. All right, now, my dressing is boiling, and this is probably way more than enough for this slaw, but that's okay. Now, if you want to add some celery seed in your dressing, or you want to put other spices or seasonings, feel free. It's your slaw. If you want to put carrots and celery in your slaw, you certainly can. As you can see, this is a very rough, lazy slaw. Robin got lazy, but I want to use it up, and I just felt like I wanted something fresh. You can also put other things in here. You can put mandarin oranges. You know, play with your slaw ingredients, and you might come up with something that's really, really great and becomes a family favorite. Now, I'm going to let this cool off before I put it in another covered dish and stick it in the refrigerator. And I'm going to let it set for several hours because that's when it becomes absolutely wonderful. Alright, you can see I have sliced up my sweet potatoes. I've sliced them up rather chunky. You can slice them up any way you want to. It doesn't matter. Just keep in mind, the smaller you slice them, the thinner, or the less time it takes to cook. So now I've got some chubby carrots here. I'm going to wash them off well, but I'm not going to peel them. The reason I'm not going to peel them is because I'm lazy today. I just don't care that much. And they're tossed in my pan. Now, I'm going to grab some seasoning and we'll finish these off. So I have a little bit of, got some kosher salt for my salt. Kosher salt's a little more chunky. And I'm going to put some pepper in here. And just for the fun of it, I'm going to put some nutmeg. A smidge of ground nutmeg. Because nutmeg has a romantic relationship with sweet potatoes and carrots. Now I'm going to take a little bit of oil. If I had olive oil, I would use it, but I don't have it, so that's okay. Just a little bit. And I'm going to kind of smush this around in there. Now, these are just going to go in the refrigerator until I'm ready to bake them or roast them off, right? Okay. So this is pretty good. And I can season them again later if I think I need some more. I can smell just a tiny bit of that nutmeg, which is actually what I want. I don't want it to overpower my nice root vegetables. All right, I have my roasted root vegetable. Well, they're not roasted yet, but they're going to be. I've got them already. I've transferred my slaw into a covered dish, and that's going to be marinate in there for a while, probably until supper, because I think that's going to be part of my supper. Now, this is fun. What I have here are those Great Northern beans I showed you. It's just one can, drained and rinsed. I'm going to set these aside. And what I have here is some collard greens that have already been washed. And you notice I keep them with a sheet of paper towel in there. That's going to keep them nice longer. And I have to tell you that some of these vegetables, the cabbage, the greens, etc., I got in a Misfits box. I thought a Misfits market box, and that's fruit and vegetables that are not pretty enough for the grocery store. Now you see what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of rolling these together. They're not good enough for the grocery store. They're not pretty enough. They look funny or bad, but I got a box. There's a small box because I want to try it. And one of these days, if I continue with it, I will show it to you. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I just wanted to try it to see if I could incorporate a few more vegetables and greens, fruit into my diet. I do eat apples and things like that. So they sent me some lemons and some limes, and so all I'm doing, I'm just going to, if my knife were more dull, it would make my life so much better. Don't you think? All right, so my laziness is prevailing. It's been so rainy, and it's rainy and damp today as well. I did venture out, however, because my little dog needed food. I'm going to put some garlic on here. This is just pre-chopped minced garlic. Keeping up with the lazy theme. And I'm going to put some lemon on here. I've got I'm going to cut this in two, and I'll put one back in case I need it later. And I'm going to squeeze that on. Then I'm going to put some salt and pepper on this, and then I'm going to put this in the refrigerator and let it get friendly. Probably what I will do is the last 10 minutes or so, I will probably put this in an oven-proof container or cooking vessel. And put it in the oven with the potatoes for the last 10 or 15 minutes. These greens won't take long, and the Great Northern beans are already done, so. I had to give my hands a quick wash. I'm going to put a little kosher salt. I find that putting the kosher salt on there, I should be less heavy-handed because, well, I don't know. It seems to salt things a little bit more. I don't know. These collard greens came in the Misfits Market box, and they are really, really tasty. There was some rainbow chard in there, which is now eaten, but it was a bit sad. But I salvaged it, and it was very delicious. I read where rainbow chard is related to the beach. Can you imagine? But this is very, very good. If you've never tried collard greens, you should. They cry out for vinegar or bacon grease or something like that. They love it when you dress them in that. All right. So these are going to go in the refrigerator until I'm ready to make them. And as far as my dehydrated vegetables are concerned, I'll drain them, and I'm going to actually put those in a container for another day. I can and put them in the refrigerator because I'll be using them for stir fry or just to add to soup or whatever I want. Okay? All right. I'll bring you back when I am ready to make these in the oven, and I'll show you the end result. I think you're going to like it. All right. I'll see you later. Okie doke. I'm heating up my oven to 375, and here are the beans and the collard greens, and I put some lemon slices on there because remember I squeezed some lemon over top, and I did sprinkle a little bit of oil on the top of those. And don't forget sweet potatoes and carrots, tossed in a little oil with salt, pepper, and nutmeg. Alright, I'm going to put these in a 375-degree oven with the foil on for however long it takes for them to get done, until the carrots and the sweet potatoes are tender. Fork tender, knife tender, whatever you want to call it. And then probably about the last 10 minutes of this cooking, 10-15 minutes, I'm going to put the beans and greens. And that's really going to be it. Then the slaw is still in the refrigerator, and when I'm ready to eat these, I will show you what they look like. We'll take out some of that slaw and let you look at that. This is going to be my supper for this evening, and I'm sure there will be plenty left for another meal. I just wanted to share this with you so that you could see that really little is much when God is in it. This is not a lot in and of itself individually, but together it can make a pretty good meal. Now, I'm having a vegan meal tonight. I often do that, vegan or vegetarian. I don't eat a lot of meat. It's just a habit I've gotten into. I don't have well, I don't have a preference one way or the other. I just eat what I feel is good for me. Does that make sense? Okay, So as soon as the oven heats up, these are going to go in, and then these will go in at the last. Well, they're done as they're going to get. This is supper. And you can see I have my vinegar slaw out right here. And you know what? This is, even though the dressing was hot, this is very crunchy. Hear that? Mmm. Very tasty. Here's the delicious sweet potatoes and carrots. I'm going to put some of those on my plate because this is my supper. They smell wonderful. Don't you love the color? I love the color. Look at that on the bottom. I didn't flip these or anything. I told you I was having a very lazy day. Couple more carrots there. Oh, that one looks scrumptious. Now I'm going to have leftovers, which I can eat another day. And there's my beautiful sweet potatoes and carrots. And here are my beans. Now, I'm going to put them on the same plate. I'm going to put that slice of lemon there too because it looks delicious. I love lemon. Really, really do. Stay there, my darling. Stay there. You can see that this did not shrink up that much. I'll have some of this left too. So, oh, that really smells good. And I'm going to put my slaw in a separate little dish because I don't want the vinegar to go all over everything else. So let's do that. Very hot. Put that slaw in there, in my dish. Oftentimes I like to eat a salad or a slaw or whatever salad out of a separate dish. Really good. All right, that's my dinner. I'm going to grab a fork. Let's taste one of these. That's good. Seasoned just right. Let's taste this because I've never made it before. Something that occurred in my brain. Oh wow. This is very delicious. The beans and greens are so good. And I already know what this tastes like. All right, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I love you guys. Please like, subscribe, and share because everybody needs to know how to do this stuff. So here is a beautiful, perfect vegan meal. Okay? All right. I love ya. And just remember that little is much when God is in it. Bye.